Hey guys, so for everybody wondering about what kind of tools that I carry and everything for the Hotshot or transportation side going on the road, most of the majority of stuff that I carry is from back from mobile mechanic stuff, so kind of figuring out what I needed back then, transferred over to now. I had somebody on my Instagram, he had asked me, can you do a video on the tools that you have and all of the stuff that you carry in your truck for bulletproof hot shotting? It'd be really cool to see what you have, how you came to realize why you needed it, and how you organize everything. So I want to go over all of the stuff in the actual truck bed itself. Mind you that I have put my truck back to normal on the front seats and the back seats, so all that stuff's back to normal. I'm not going to be going over that stuff today. I just want to go over the tools, why I have it, what I have, and how I use it. Just get into the organization and show you guys why I have what I have. Obviously things are gonna change when I start adding more stuff or taking stuff away. I'm not getting rid of this toolbox, but I am going to be finding a 100 or 105 gallon L transfer fuel tank. So it's just gonna move my box forward a little bit and then I'll have to reorganize stuff. But I did make some changes yesterday and I'm gonna go over all that. All right, so here is the truck, 2004 Dodge Ram 2500, 12 valve Cummins with a 3500 rear axle. So I am fairly happy with my new setup. Obviously you guys saw that the generator was over here. I was having issues with it running, so I moved it over here because now I can access my choke and my fuel and my pull start. This thing starts right up and everything. I have, rather than running the lines through over there, I found that there was holes along here, so I'm running the wiring up along there and then through back into that little cubby there. I am going to rearrange that. That's going to go straight up and then down in because there is another hole down there. So this is the generator setup. Basically I'm going to be using this for heat and stuff like that when it comes time to it being super cold. So I went and moved a couple of things around. I wanted to make sure it was prepared, and I'm like, if I'm explaining this to you guys, I'd rather just do it once and not have to make an update video. So I did run that the whole way along, and then the spare extension cord will get stored in there. These just stay like this, routed. I do need to make the exhaust come up, and then I'll probably drill a hole like right around here and just have like a tiny little bit of a stack, just enough so that the exhaust can actually breathe, because it does come out on that side. These, I don't know where I want to put these right now because they keep falling out. This goes under the back seat, and then a couple other things I decided just to take out. So you guys can see, first things first, with power only, obviously gooseneck hitch, fifth wheel hitch. I rarely use the gooseneck hitch. That one that you guys saw, that dump trailer that was a flatbed, I could have done that with a fifth wheel. I didn't realize there was a kingpin in it, so I really didn't need to grab the fifth wheel, but whatever. Fire extinguisher is mounted right here, okay, fully charged. I'll start here. All of my fluids, I have tire shine, I have power steering fluid, I have diesel 911, I have oil, I have coolant, orange, Rain-X, I have window cleaner, power steering fluid, I have a jug for if I need to drain fluids. I also have a big board in case I need to run a tire up on it or whatever, doesn't really matter. That definitely comes in handy. I've used that quite a few times. Or if I need to just chalk the wheels on the truck on the side of the highway, if I'm going up or down a hill and I need to pull it out of gear for some reason, I just want to make sure that we are solid, so I always do that, and I pull the breakaway on the trailer. Spare battery for campers. Obviously you can see there's two nuts on there. I keep spare chain just in case I need to pull something somewhere, and then a vise, which I am working on a solution with that square tubing right there, trying to figure out where to mount it because I would like to be able to run the vise. Obviously this is solid, it's bolted down. The reason I moved it to this side was because the side that I'm sitting on, this side was actually lower by about an inch, and it just didn't look right, especially when you'd fill it up. It'd be like a good 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches lower on this side, and it was just weird. So I'm like, well, screw it. I'll move it to the other side. One, I can reach the controls on it and actually see everything. And then after it's on that side, it also brings that side down a little bit. So I did the measuring, and that side, it was a 1/4 inch off, but I don't have a full tank. So at a full tank, this thing should sit level on both sides now, which is awesome. That's what I want. And then back there, I keep my grease gun and a spare 2-inch and 2 5/16 ball. You can flip them for my ball hitch down there, which this is the one that I run. I like the pintle setup more than anything, and with a backup camera. This is just zip tied for now. I do want to find a better mounting solution for this one that's removable so I can like move it side to side. This is for my breakaway cable so that I can do that right, so when I wrap it around, this can loop itself back. And then this is for a crane that I had on the side, so this still if I have to use it, it's there. But a lot of times I end up wrapping my breakaway around it because sometimes they're not long enough to reach back here. So that's just my 2 cents. And then the 2 airbag fittings up there. Something else I recommend is a 7-way plug that also has a 4-way on it. So that way you don't have to worry about using adapters and all that stuff. So definitely like that. Now we start getting into the toolbox. Okay, here is everything I have. You guys can see that this is actually very organized. It's gonna pain me to actually start pulling some of this stuff out to show you guys what I have, but I'm gonna pull everything out and show you why I have what I have and for, you know, what reason, what came about, why I have it. I'm gonna start on that side because that side's a little bit less complicated than this side. So first things first, on this side, obviously spare carrier bearing, 100%. Always carry a spare carrier bearing because in my case I need it. My triangles go here, my 2-inch straps are all in here, and then my 1-inch straps are all in here, and then I have a spare cleaning glove for when I need to clean stuff. Yes, it gets a little dirty in here. I just take it to the pressure washer and I can spray that off and clean it. This one here I keep like brake clean and lube and all that, and then hammers. This is my dedicated hammers. This is where I put all those, and then this is the coolant, so I leave that all together. Spray, any spray fluid, which I guess I could probably could just end up moving it back here, to be honest. I might just do that actually. Okay, well, there you go. Now that's dedicated hammers and coolant. Okay, this is for coolant, and then I keep all my screwdrivers in this compartment right in between the two. So there is that. So that breaks down this one, and this one here. So now next, this is where I will keep my miscellaneous. Like I have 2 spare belts. One is for AC, one is for AC delete. I have clamps. I have more clamps. I have breaker bar. I have miscellaneous sockets, miscellaneous extensions, air chisel. I have a torque wrench in here, and then a couple miscellaneous things like the bearing race or whatever you want to call this, so that you can like smack on the carrier bearings. Spring tool, which I really do not need, so I'm going to take that out. That can go in the storage unit. More of these. Another clamp. Don't really need that either. A couple cutoff discs I have for the fan assembly if needed, and some pins. So all of that goes in this drawer here. I'm glad someone mentioned this because now I'm going to be able to organize this and actually neaten this up a little bit. Miscellaneous sockets, wrenches, and all that other stuff in here, as well as, you know, clamps and a couple spare belts for AC delete and non-delete. And then up over here, I keep all my pry bars back here. So now over here, I try to keep this mainly to the electrical stuff, but I do have tape and drill bits and, you know, cutters. I have a multimeter, which comes in handy, miscellaneous washers, nuts, and just other little things, Flectex foil tape. There's Teflon tape in here, there's solder in here, there's whatever you want to call these. There's only 2 in there right now. The step bits, they're in there, as well as, can't really do electrical without these things. I absolutely love them. So they will go in there. Keep my spare Minnesota license plate right there. Jack handles go there. So we have an adjustable wrench right there. 2 4-ton bottle jacks. I keep spare wheel balance in here with a bunch of zip ties in this spot right here. Always have a 14mm on the end of this because 14 seems to be what I use the most, and it is an extendable guy, so I love that thing. Needle nose pliers and wire crimpers slash cutters right next to it. So basically like electrical stuff and a couple miscellaneous odds and ends, which is what I have in there. This box here, I have all my bulbs for everything on this truck, whether it's a brake light, whether it's reverse lights, any of that. All my bulbs go in that box right there. There's headlight bulbs in there. There is everything in there. Next, I keep a generic Stanley tool set right there that goes back behind. I have a soldering iron right here. I have a tire plug kit. This will not work for your 14-ply tire guys. For us 10-ply tire guys, it works just fine. I have, what is this? I don't even know what this is. Aha. Ooh, I didn't know that I had that. This would have come in handy many times, actually. I didn't know I had this. Cool. So this is your turbo sockets, whatever you want to call them. These are fresh. I haven't even used them yet. They are for stripped bolts or nuts, so that's awesome. So we got those. Now that I know that I have them, they're going to get used more because I have had plenty of opportunities to use those. I have a deburring kit. Not that I need it, but it takes up the space happily under here, so I definitely like having one of those. This one, I had a bunch of people ask me to link this. This is an infrared thermometer with laser. This is from Cornwell. Part number is right there. Basically, this allows me to shoot this at any part of the truck and it will tell me the exact temperature of it. So that's how I checked like trans temps, all of that. I don't know what's in here, so let's see this. Disc brake caliper. Look, I have one of them. I really don't need this. Don't know why I still have it. That can probably get taken out. For disc brakes, there is, what I have been doing is I'll put the pad back in and then I take this guy here and I put one of the jack handles on the end for leverage. So we actually do not need this kit here. So I'm going to take that out. So unfortunately that leaves a spot right there, which I will figure out. So that's one of those things. You guys might need this. I physically do not. So I'm gonna take that out. Oh man. This guy here, this is a lifesaver right here. This is a puller kit for the, I think I used this once for when I was doing the timing on my injection pump. So this I will absolutely need if you ever slip timing. You are gonna want one of these if you have a 12 valve. So that is going right back there. Because something I do want to make mention is I don't like to put anything fluids wise in here, because if you have a leak of any of this stuff, you're gonna have to pull all this out and clean it all back out. So as I'm going over this stuff with you guys, I'm actually learning some things myself as to what to get rid of. Obviously I don't need that kit over there, so that is gone. I have right here, this is all I can show you. Hopefully I don't lose it. I do need a new one of these, but this is all fuses. Okay, and then the other side is all heat shrink and, you know, a couple fittings and whatnot. I do need a new one of these. Like I said, this thing is broken, but it still functions a little bit. So there's that. I have a full, this was like 300 bucks. My wrenches, Ratchety wrenches, I got these off of Mac. I do need to clean them up. They're fairly expensive, but they are well worth it. I have, this is just a couple bits. Put that back in there. This is for my tire pressure monitoring sensors. No need to open that. I have a bunch of picks. These come in handy, believe it or not. I have used them quite a few times, especially if you want to get a hose off that the clamp is a little too tight. After you've gotten the clamp off, those come in handy. So, last two things I believe that I have in here are, this is from Cornhole. Okay, Cornwell Tools. All of my 10mm, 1/2" drive socket all the way up to 24mm. I have a one of these guys, flex. I have a 1/2" to 3/8, and I have a 3/8 to 1/2". Okay. Now, the last and final very expensive thing that I have in this stupid toolbox is this guy right here. This thing has seen a lot of rain, so there is a bit of rust in here, but from the top section. So, and I am missing a 4 for some reason. I don't know where that went. But this is basically it. This is what I have in here. I used, I'd like to say this, no, not this guy. I used, I think it was the T40 on my drive shaft the other day. So this comes in handy. Very rarely do you need it, but when you need it, it is so nice to have. So that's basically my entire toolbox setup, okay? Now I need to find something to fill into that space right there. So that'll be fun. Got to figure that out. All right, so now with all that said and done and gone over, probably thinking, man, he has all these nice tools, but he doesn't have any power tools. Well, now we're gonna go in the cab because there are some things that I do keep pretty consistent when I put the back seats in. For one, if you have 80-pound or less tires, this guy right here is a lifesaver, okay? I'll move this and I'm gonna show you exactly what's going on up underneath here, okay? Oh, look at that, all that. All right, so I have a battery here. Now with the sleeper on it, you can't access this, so I cut a hole down here, so when you pull the air line out, you can pull this battery out, slide it right through, pop the new one in, good to go. This all works. Listen, there we go, drain the system, good to go, right? So have an air compressor, Milwaukee, 18 volt. I have one of these from Mac. This thing is absolutely nice, and I have a hose that reaches the tires. I tried to get him to give me one that goes all the way to the back, like to a trailer. Unfortunately, he couldn't get me one. So I keep this guy down here. I keep a non-charged, apparently, LED light the whole way. This can go under the hood when needed. I do need to charge that, so I'm gonna start messing with that at some point. I keep a 1000 watt inverter. This thing is not enough. I do need to get a bigger one. That was the only one Walmart had available, and I just needed to grab one as quick as possible. So that's this side. Have a shitty seat that doesn't like to do what it needs to do. Now we'll come to the other side. You come over here. I moved my wrenches. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these yet. I do have I think this goes 10 to 21, and then 24 up here, and then another 11 to 19 there. So we have that. I have a bunch of M18 batteries, a bunch of little flashlights, and I have an angle grinder. That comes in handy on the road. I do not care what anybody says. Battery, 1, 2, 3, 12 volt, 1, 2. Here is the charger for it. I always keep 1-inch length self tappers. These are a 10 millimeter. Always keep those on me. I keep a impact screwdriver with a 10 mil attached to it at all times. 4th M18 battery. Again, more flashlights. I keep that, needs to go in my storage unit. That's going in my storage unit. That's for the angle grinder. I keep a M18 1,000 foot-pounds of torque Milwaukee 18. I don't keep a socket attached to that one. I have a drill. This is a bunch of, I also keep a bunch of wood screws in stock just in case I need to mess with the sleeper berth. That is not a legal sleeper berth. There we go, more flashlights. These are for the back, so when I put the outer wheel on, I put 2 of these on so it centers the wheel, then I torque the rest of the lug nuts, take these off. So these are just for centering the lug nuts on the spacers. This guy also, these 2 need to go in the storage unit. I'm gonna set these up here and forget about them. So, bunch of lights, bunch of chargers, self tappers, you know, batteries, whatnot. This will charge 12 and 18 volt batteries. So, throw that back under there. I've noticed the tool that I use the most, like these step bits here, I leave in like 10 millimeter. If I need to go self tap something, I can just grab that and throw it in, okay? Self tappers are your friend. That's basically that. I would like to charge my LED light here, so I'm gonna do that. Turn that on. Now I will get that fully charged. You can see it's red. It does not turn on at all. I need to go put my seat back down. Come in here. There is a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in here. I know it looks cluttered. There's a reason for that. So when I go on the road, the sleeper comes out, the mattress comes out, the piece of plywood comes out, all of this stuff here comes out and goes in the truck. Makes it super simple. Would like to grab me some animal crackers though. I do like me some animal crackers for when I'm home. A couple things for the guys that want to get super, you know, into like the little things. Always keep paper towels, and always keep a nice thing of tub of towels, and you can see that I have a vest in the glove box, okay? That's how I do it, okay? So that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. You guys can see the sun's coming back a little bit. I have to do the rear seal today. I wanna do a coolant leak fix today, and I wanna fix, if I can, I wanna fix the oil leaks today. And then tomorrow, I wanna wash this entire thing again, because I do wanna get some front mud flaps because I'm tired of everything caking up here. Like back here isn't really an issue. This mud flap here pretty much takes up all the rest of the stuff. I mean, other than like up here and whatnot, but you know, for the most of it. So I am gonna be getting a mud flap for this. That's pretty much gonna do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments what else you wanna see. I got 2 weeks off. I need to keep making content, keep the ad revenue pretty consistent. So more money we can make on YouTube, the more I can afford to do these videos and the more I can put out for you guys. I genuinely love doing it, but sometimes it's kind of hard to make videos when I don't have anything going on. So definitely appreciate your guys' support. See you guys in the next one. Safe travels.